Hey guys, Tyler here, partsforscooters.com. In this video, I'm going to explain what carburetor jets are and how to change them. For this task, we will use three simple tools: a Phillips screwdriver, a flathead screwdriver, and possibly an adjustable wrench. In most cases, this can only be done on an aftermarket carburetor, as most stock carburetors are like this, tamper-proof. You can't access the bowl and you cannot access the air fuel screw either. So in today's video, I will be showing you with an aftermarket carburetor for the QMB 139 engine platform. Let's get started. The first thing we're going to want to do is remove the bowl of the carburetor to access the jets. On this carburetor, it can be found by removing these three screws. Some other carburetors will have 4 screws, like on the larger GY6. Make sure your screwdriver fits these screws very securely, as these screws can strip. It's a very soft metal. You can go ahead and remove each screw and lay it off to the side. Be very careful, as underneath this bowl there's a rubber O-ring seal, so gently pull up. You can now lay the bowl off to the side. This is what the inside of the carburetor bowl looks like. You have your float, you have your main jet and atomizer, and you have your idle jet. So let's take a little bit closer look at this carburetor. Here on the top, all the way at the top, with the flathead notch in it, that's your main jet. That main jet is threaded into the piece right below it, which is your atomizer. And sometimes when you go to remove this main jet, it'll pull the atomizer out with it. Keep that in mind. This little bugger down here, that's your idle jet. When removing these jets, make sure the tip of your flathead screwdriver fits into the jet good and snug. You do not want it to be too large to where you can't get a good bite into the jet. As soon as it breaks free, you should be able to use your fingertips and go ahead and unscrew this out. And this is our tiny little main jet. Most of the time they'll have a little number on the side indicating what size they are. This stock one does not. I'm going to pull out the atomizer so you can see that as well. I don't like to use pliers because pliers can actually mar up the side of this. And again, once it breaks free, you should be able to screw it out with your fingertips. And this is our atomizer. It's what helps mix the air and fuel together. I'm going to lay that off to the side. And now for the idle jet. A little bit different looking. This one's threads feel a little tight. No big deal. Just work through it. This is our idle jet. We're not going to be changing this today. Normally you don't have to change this too often, only a couple sizes. Say if you big bore, you might have to go from a 32 to a 34 sometimes. So I'm going to go ahead and screw that right back down in. Now when you thread these jets back into the carburetor, they don't have to be super duper tight. You want it to turn until you feel it stop and snug it. That's in there. So this is one of the jet kits we offer. This one's for the QMB 139 engine, same carburetor we're working on. Ranges from a 72, which some stock carburetors have, all the way up to a 110. Most of the time you won't be needing to go this high at all ever unless you're getting into race applications. In this video, we're going to be mimicking a 82cc or 50 millimeter big bore build. And here in Florida, most of them would be using this 95 jet. So we're going to go ahead and install this 95 jet into this carburetor. First, pop that atomizer back in if you removed it. I'm just going to snug this down, never too tight. Now, in the jet kit, the jets, each size is underneath each one of these numbers. It's pretty simple. So I'm going to go ahead and take the 95 main jet out. Thread that in by hand. And we'll take our flathead and snug that one right down in. Done. At this point, go ahead and thread your bowl back on. You're going to want to make sure that this O-ring or this seal is in healthy condition and fully seated. One thing you want to keep in mind with these carburetors is this rubber boot right here, that this doesn't come off. That's your accelerator pump. If that comes off, dirt and grime can get in there. I like to set every one of my screws in individually, and I never tighten one down fully. I just like to get them all started. That way you won't strip one out, you won't get one that goes in crooked. Once they're all started, then you can crank them down. But again, you never want to over tighten these things. Once the screws stop, you just want to snug it down. And that's it. This carburetor is now ready to be installed utilizing the 95 jet we just installed. You can take the old jet, put that where the new jet came out of. That way there's no guessing. The only blank one you know is going to be the stock one. I hope you enjoyed this quick tutorial on jetting the carburetor. The jet kit used in this video was our part number 114-49. And the carburetor used in this video was our part number 151-222, the 20 millimeter carburetor. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to drop the lines below. Click that like, click subscribe. We're going to have more videos coming out here every week. Thanks.